Arsenal NLCX is the Arsenal-powered control surface script for the Launch Control XL. It can run 64 encoder modes of your choosing and ships with the following encoder modes: Volume, Pan, and Send mode from the Encoder Mix Mode pack, and Device mode from the Encoder Device Mode pack. The function of the encoders and encoder accessory buttons is determined by the selected encoder mode, and these buttons are used for selecting encoder modes. This button triggers undo, so for example I can change the tempo and then undo that. When Shift is held down, this will trigger redo. This button will lock modes to the current track or unlock them. The track select buttons select the 8 tracks to control. When Shift is held down, these will navigate between tracks. The mute, solo, and record arm buttons select super modes, which are modes that can sit on top of any encoder mode and override the function of the encoder accessory buttons. And these are all dual functional. If you press them quickly, you'll toggle in or out of the super mode, and if you hold them down, you'll have momentary access to the super mode. Mute sets up the buttons for muting tracks. If pressed quickly, these will toggle, and if you hold them down, they function as momentary switches. When Shift is pressed, mute will unmute all tracks. Solo sets up the buttons for soloing tracks. And again, if pressed quickly, they'll toggle, and if you hold them down, they turn into momentary switches. By default, these will obey your preference for exclusive solo. When Shift is held down, they'll do the opposite of that preference. When Shift is pressed, solo will unsolo all tracks. Record arm sets up the buttons for arming tracks according to your preference for exclusive arm. When Shift is held down, they'll do the opposite of that preference. When Shift is pressed, record arm will disarm all tracks. And finally, the knobs have some special functionality. The color of the LED below each knob indicates the type of parameter it's controlling. Green indicates a continuous parameter, like volume. Amber indicates a bipolar parameter, such as pan. And red indicates a quantized parameter, such as a filter type chooser.